So this is my one-way stretchy. This one happens to be my own personal Moby wrap that I got when I was pregnant with my daughter, which is a long time ago now. There are not many choices around, and I'm not sure if the Je Porte Mon Bébé two-way stretchy even existed at that point. So this is where a lot of, especially older stretchy wraps are. They'll stretch in one direction, and they've got very little give in the other, as opposed to a two-way stretchy, which will stretch this way and stretch that way. Makes it maneuverably way easier to maneuver and to move and adjust how you want it, and you don't have to get the sizing as you tie it quite so right, because that stretch will give. Now, so this is a one-way stretchy. So when I'm putting this one on, I actually prefer myself to make it a little on the loose side, and then to do a bit of an extra step tightening up once I've got my baby in, to get it so it fits snug, rather than having loose wiggly bits or having it so tight it's hard to pull this last paddle up at the end. So I would make sure it's t-shirt tight, but probably a loose t-shirt tight. So finish this off, just give it a little rough tie. What was I going to say? So if you've got it on and you think you've made it too tight, then what you need to do is just give yourself a bit of excess here, and you just pull it through, ease yourself a little bit more room in it. If you think you've gone crazy and it's too loose, like that, then one thing this is going to be way too loose, ridiculous. You wouldn't want a baby in it this loose. So one trick you can do is you reach over behind you. So I'm just trying to not grab my clothes, and then if you just pull up and over, so I'm actually pulling it off my body and over, so that I don't get the friction of the shirt kind of making it harder to move. See, that's giving me a bit of excess. It's pulled this bit snug against my tummy. I'll just pull those extra bits through, feed the excess in, and go. Tie it off. Some people say, because you know you're probably going to be retying it, to just leave it half looped. But if I would hate to forget that I had it half tied if maybe I didn't need to adjust too much, and so I didn't really need to untie that. So I would rather just actually tie it in place, so if I forget, it's not going to come undone when I'm not noticing later on. Alright, so we have this ready to go. So we're going to put our baby in. I'm going to do the old school open spread, put my baby in version. So the baby's going in through the top, and one leg out that side, and the other leg out the other side. I work with two-way stretches wherever I can, so when I have to go back to a one-way, it's always a bit of a shock. I'm just like, oh. So excuse me if I grimace and kind of seem a bit severe. Okay, so which one's the underneath closest to me is this one, so it makes sense to put this one up first. We're going from the back of the knee across to the other hip. Now this side, everything's in the back of the knee over here, all the spare, and then we just take just what we need to move it across, so we don't have any kind of annoying bunches that's going to be uncomfortable for our poor lovely baby. Okay, so now I'm going to put this one up and over. Let's find that there. There we go. Here's the tag, that must be the horizontal pass. Oh, I miss being able to just whoosh, bring it out, stretch it over. Never mind, here we go. So we've got this one up. Okay, so I've made this not too bad actually. Oh, kind of a bit twisty on my back there, so I'm going to have a bit of a jig and a poke on that one. Yeah, because I've done this so many times, I kind of don't get it too wrong too much. But let's have a wee look, and you can see that's definitely loose. We could definitely make that a bit better. So we're going to play a game called Follow the Slack. Now, one thing you can do is you can drop that down to make it easier to manoeuvre, but a lot of people, when they're new to using carriers and wraps and things, and they're new to their own baby, and it's all a bit scary, you don't want to drop them, which is a good instinct, the idea of having this all kind of out of the way while you move the slack around, it's kind of a bit scary. So it's not quite as straightforward, but you can still play follow the slack while your baby's nicely covered. See, we've got some slack floating around in here. Cool, so I'm going to start here, I'm going to play follow the slack. So that goes around here, and then that edge comes across my shoulder and ends up here. Now, is it the inside or the outside? Have a tug, see what you find. There we go. So I've tugged, and I've brought that excess through to over here now. I can tug the other side as well, just to make sure. Oh, it's a bit of slack in there. Cool. So now this is the part, I will do this to show you. This is the bit that goes down across here. So if you want to keep that up for your feeling secure, that's fine. It just means you're going to have to come underneath here. And if I pull down here, then that excess goes down here. And then I can work it away across under here. And now I also need this loose part. This part ends up down here. So I'm going to reach in. Here's my little hand, and I'm going to find it. Oop, I'm not going to do the back of the neck. And I'm pulling that down. So now that's kind of smoothed out much better. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of spring allergy going on. So that's, as you can see, there's a bit of slack coming through from that side. Now we can check what's going on the other side. We went that way first, so we can come this way now. So that's going to be going across my shoulder and then back up on this side. So I can pull this bit, this edge and this edge, get that slack coming through. And now same deal. It's actually the one underneath them both. That's just the way I happen to start. So I'm coming, if I come in underneath, I can feel that coming down here. And then I'm putting my hand through. You can tell I've had babies for a while and I'm not too worried about moving them around. And then I also want this edge to come down and through, so I'm going to come underneath and go, where are you? So that's the outer one, and that's the inner one, and that's the edge. Follow the slack, follow the slack. There we are. Yes, you might have also want to point out that I have a doll who doesn't complain about anything, but it's true. My daughter didn't complain about too much when she was in a carrier either. Alright, so now we've got all this excess. See, here it is. Pull it around, pull it around, pull it around. Woof! Quite a bit. Just retie that. And now this baby is sitting, hopefully that looks a lot snugger and more secure. It's not, you know, there's still a little bit of looseness here, but overall it's much, much more secure. If you want to go again, get it perfect, or get what feels perfect to you, you're welcome. You might decide you want just a little bit of manoeuvring room still there. Just straightening the twists in the back there. Like that. Now she's got her nose covered, so I'm going to be having a little bit of slack to fold these through. There we go. That used up a bit of that extra slack I still had in the system, so that worked out quite nice as well. So that's, whew, that is following the slack.